Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender. I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the light would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime.
I think that if this has any merit, this rabbit hole is going to go very, 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 very deep.
So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on camera and behind the scenes. And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021 to be the sole contestant of a Mr. Beast video, which never got uploaded because it went very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at Mr. Beast while actually on the registry.
Purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos, I've worked on a lot of them. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay.
I completely understand this. I've been watching a little bit of Mr. Beast, very little, but a little bit. And I never really had a particular enjoyment for it. I felt it was very inauthentic. I felt that every time I saw it, it was about being famous, about being great, about being the best, rather than actually making good content, like I hear him say.
I didn't want to, you know, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you, and they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to or I'll be sad.
It's a very genuine concern, much like a lot of other problems in the world. If you speak up, you either suddenly go missing or somebody's gonna silence you. And I understand that fear.
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor.
Take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly. She goes, "What? I'm on vacation." Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me $10K to put a down payment on a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big, flashy new car. 10K.
Bit of a problem here. If you're making a normal amount of money, even let's say you're making like 60,000 a year, that's a fairly decent sum of money. And he's giving you 10,000 to give a down payment on a car, and he expects it to cost 70,000. That's still almost 2 years worth of salary, including the taxes and everything. Maybe even 3 years if you have a bad car loan. So, I mean, that's not worth it for the video, is it?
And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You know,
Makes
I was
sense,
working
makes sense,
on a
100%.
TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. Yeah, the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job. One of the things I didn't like about the way some of the B stuff shook out was. I feel really guilty about the way this like shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, like it's fucked up, you know, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, you know, because you deserve to get paid more. You know, I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with, you know, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, you know.
The problem here is that this is a little bit of a self-inflicted problem. So if he made this happen, how many other problems were self-inflicted? This is a little bit of a place where I think Mr. Beast can try to discredit him. Not only that, but it does look a little bit unstable, if you will. Like the mental health isn't quite there. So I really think that the Mr. Beast team will try to discredit him and Dogpack for this, because Dogpack also looks like it's a little bit on the nuttier side. I mean, he probably made the other guy lose his job, but this is a self-inflicted thing, and I don't really think this is on Mr. Beast, but maybe they should have been paid well, decently.
But he said, "Hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you." He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me, and I said my piece, and he backed me up. And I said, "I need X, Y, Z, or I'm out of here." And they said, "Bet," and they gave me a severance check the next day, and they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was gonna lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it. You're gonna give me a check and I get to leave? You know, I don't get to deal with the how many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day? You know, and I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated. He did not want.
Self-inflicted.
He's
Can't really feel bad for this.
And I really regret that. But you know, me and him are really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Yeah.
So maybe you feel better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. Now that he's a very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess.
The laugh there seems a little bit maniacal, should I say? I know that he's feeling guilty, and I can see that he genuinely cared, but it does seem a little bit unhinged. Not that I don't believe what he's saying, but I'm just making sure that you guys actually see what's going on as well.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think
No,
Jimmy wants to be
Not at all.
the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy?
This is the point I've been discussing quite a few times. This is the same ideology like the Bill Gates Foundation uses, the same ideology that the Maui Fund used, even the Red Cross when they were supposed to be donating houses, and they donated, 6 houses, and all the other money just went missing. I never felt like Mr. Beast actually wanted to help. I always felt like it was like a place for him to make sure that people couldn't call him out on something else, on wasting money, on destroying Ferraris.
It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me. And it didn't go well. And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine. And like part of the video is going to be you deciding like what items am I going to get rid of, today? And it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for maybe the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first, it's going to be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day.
See, I understand the greedy side of humanity wanting to say, yeah, I want this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. But solitary confinement is no joke. Solitary confinement is the punishment you give to criminals who are already being punished. This is like a punishment on top of punishment. Like it's no joke.
I get there, and at first it's fine. And they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good. The smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. Like things were cool and funny on paper, but when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, Give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. There's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking like a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes, on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy, mildew, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. It got to a point where they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Well, I don't know how they figured that one out. I didn't have it. One of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was.
So basically what you're saying is he was in solitary confinement, he didn't get any sunlight, he was in paint fumes, and he had sound pollution. Sounds like some Guantanamo Bay stuff to me. I've been talking about a few of these challenges with a psychologist friend of mine. And the answer we got to, in particularly my psychologist friend, was that if these things were done as a study, they would be illegal. And these are the type of things people would do to other prisoners under the Second World War. Like the wild Nazi experiments. So it's sounding pretty damn bad. If this actually did happen, it sounds terrifying.
Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me, saying, "This, we gotta stop." So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
Well, I'm gonna say the Guantanamo Bay thing wasn't too far off the bat. Let me read this up for you guys. Yes, the United Nations, the UN, considers sleep deprivation to be a form of torture and a war crime under the Geneva Convention and the UN Torture Convention. So the Beast team has then, by this definition, committed a war crime. This isn't a joke anymore. This isn't something you can say, oops, I was just a little YouTuber. I just little woo-woo. No, this is a genuine, bona fide crime, even within where people kill each other.
Dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor, so this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. Abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a type.
Again, I'm going to be very clear. This man has a lot of traumas. And the Mr. Beast team is going to utilize all these traumas to say that he is not a credible source of information. Even if this is 100% true. Dogpack has looked a little bit sketchy mentally, and this guy doesn't look like he's that much better. So just do with that information as you may. I'm just putting it out there.
Fine about it. So I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming. Did you try to get out? Yes! I was starting to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash? And it's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. when Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that seemed weird. I don't like it. We were doing that one of those hide and seek videos again. You know, at the time they were a lot realer.
I can almost explain to you guys what he means. Sometimes people want to joke about things, but they mean it. So let me use an example. I used to have a friend of mine in the north of Norway. And every time he used to use black jokes, it would used to be a little bit longer and a little bit more lingering, and he would specify them towards me. Remember, up there I was one of the only brown people. So if he would be like, let's just use an arbitrary one. Like, why did Santa look black when he came down the chimney? And he would look at me, and he would be waiting longer, and just getting that contact, understanding that this is a joke about you as well. There is something very like underlying in those things. And then it could be a different friend of mine, a great friend of mine. He'd joke about it all the time, and I'd never feel any particular nasty feeling. So there's a difference there.
So I got caught, and when you get caught, you go to the place where you get caught.
Oh no, it's gonna joke about his dad being in
I don't know
prison.
if there's footage of this. I don't know if I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, "All right, you're going to jail. You know, like your dad." The thing that made me I got to get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in, and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, "Why is he sleeping?" I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, "Ask me why I have 2 briefcases." And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, "Oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge." And I go, "What's the challenge today?" He goes, You're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." I was like, "On camera, I don't want to do it." He goes, "Just do it for the thing, like, kid, Like there was an element of, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. That's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push him a little extra hard because we know he's good. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah. So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer.
People who run marathons do have to train for a while. My brother did a half marathon just to push himself, and he's in fantastic shape. And he was like, "Yeah, that was heavy." When he says, "Yeah, that was heavy," I'm gonna be straight honest, this tubby individual is gonna have a lot harder time, especially when it's a full marathon and it's sleep deprived. He's basically tortured. And probably nutrition is not on top either.
I asked him, "How long do I have?" He goes, "Until I get back." And I'm running until 3 a.m. And I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, "I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out." And that's when I get psych in and talk to the psych about how I'm not well. And like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, "You got to pull him out." Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work, and they would tell me, they'd be like, "Yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you." They go, "Oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him." Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, "How much longer are you guys going to keep me in here?" And the guy goes, "Realistically, like at least 7 more days?" No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it. They brought it on people I liked and Jimmy. Then everybody was around me making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy had his like, he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me and he was like Alexa.
I've been expecting you, Jake. I hear you don't like my challenges. You better get running again. If you want this Mr. Beast money.
He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video and he's like, oh, stop, you're gonna make me cry. And he like touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just. I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, you know, your mental health's the most important thing. You know, just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is. I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out. I did not get the 300K. What I got. He goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, 100,000 some change, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. My family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I'd still gotten some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And I feel good now. I just had to get that out there. I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at Mr. Beast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do. And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care.
No, but you are talking about it, and your friends will probably lose their jobs because of their connection to you. And you are talking about it, and I will say that, yes, it is a selfish thing to do. But in the end, if this is true, it's also a right thing to do because it will stop a lot of problems down the line.
Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything who worked there. And like you can, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on that's one thing. You go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. Like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that.
The fact that the people that hired knew this, I'm taking this on face value right now, and I'm going to answer it on face value. So if this comes out to not be true afterwards, this is what I would have thought if this was the truth. And I think that the people that do stuff like this to underage kids, I don't agree with the death penalty for anything else. I just happen to think that that penalty might be within the realms of possibility, perchance, mayhaps. Not gonna say anything more.
They still knew about it and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? And I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why, you know? The fuck?
The fuck indeed.
And Jimmy knew about it? In likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.